All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at the KastKing 9-inch bait shears. These were sent to me so that I can show them to you, and because of the weather, we're just going to show them to you right down here in the studio. Going to do a couple of demonstrations so that you get an idea of how these work. So at first look, they are a nice pair of scissors. This can opener, bottle opener right here, looks like it could possibly get in the way, but right now it's not been a big deal for me. It's there. It will also stay in the sheath and not be in the way or cause any issues. And so that's going to go just like that. And it does have a carabiner clip on the end of it so that you can either clip it to your belt or to your bag so that you don't lose them. It is a nice plastic sheath so that it's going to keep you protected, and it's also going to keep your shears protected. And then looking at this, this is a bottle opener, and it is also kind of a little screwdriver on the end there if you want to use that maybe for your reel. If you need to snug it up or if you need to loosen it up, you can use that end right there. Also right here, I know it's really hard to see, but we're going to take a real close-up of that. That is called a jig hole punch. I don't know if you've ever used a painted jig before and that hole is covered, and you can't find another hook to poke through there, and then once you do, you poke it into your finger and then you got blood. This is a jig hole punch, and so I'm going to see if we can't get that to work. This one is painted over. You also do have a crimper right here for using your slip sinkers and stuff like that. You can use those crimpers right there. You've got a good pair of shears on the end. You got a knife on one side. You got a scaler on the other side. You've also got right here, and again, we're going to look at this real close. You do have a line cutter right here, and then you've also got these little tools right here, these little cutouts right here that you can use to adjust your lure adjustments. And so we're going to do a little bit of that as well. So the first thing I want to do before we come in close is I just want to put the line cutter to test, and it's not going to be a big test. I don't use much more than a 12-pound test, so that's what this is. This is just a Berkeley Trilene 12-pound test. The only thing about this is that it just seems kind of awkward, you know, because you do have to use two hands to get that line over the scissors and then down into the little slot, and I'll show that to you up close. But once you cut down on it, it's a really smooth cut. Now, I don't know how many pound test it will go up to, but it's a razor blade and it's brand new, so therefore I would think that it was going to cut up to a pretty significant test. Also, braided line. You know, braided line can be a booger sometimes. That when you cut it with scissors, with clippers, try to do it with your teeth, you get a frayed end, and so you can get a clean cut with this or with the shears itself. Now, I want to show you how to use the knife feature. You're just going to open these wide open, and then that's going to slip apart just like that. No extra pieces, no screws to pull or anything like that. It's just opening up your shears wide and then pulling them apart. And then to put them together, you're just going to line that up just the same way that you separated it. And now they're put back together. Now we're going to take a look at this jig head punch and see how it works. Okay, so here's a really good look at the shears, and you can see the scaler right here on the bottom side. You've got a gut hook right here. You've got right here, these little cutouts are going to be used for lure adjustments. You got your crimper right here, your D-ring, bottle opener, your jig head punch, and then the way that these separate, I'll show you that. Open them wide open, and then they just lift apart. And then you line those up just the same way you took them off and back together. Now on this jig head, you can see that the jig head is coated, and so I need to find something to punch it through, and that's what we're going to do here with this jig head punch. So what I want to do is kind of ream that out just a little bit so that I can get my line through it. See how that's through there? Look at that. Just like that. Super nice. You put it in there just like that and cut it. Now for the lure adjustment, you can see that my hook is bent just a little bit. And all I want to do here is just a little bit of a push. And that's really nice. I like that. Now you do want to be careful, of course. But as I push, I'm bending that really good, getting that back into shape. So you really do have a lot of features with the shears. I think that they're going to come in super handy on a fishing trip. I can't wait for the weather to clear up so that I can get out there and get some fishing in. I know that you're anxious to get some fishing in also. And it seems like that we always misplace our needle nose pliers, or we need a pair of clippers, or we need a pair of shears, and we just don't seem to have them on hand. This is going to be a great pair to keep in your tackle box. You can put it on a D-ring and you can clip it to it so that you don't lose it. You can clip it to your belt. But yeah, the KastKing 9-inch bait shears, it definitely needs to be in your tackle box.